In this video, we are going to be shooting my own Fujifilm Festive recipe. We are in the beautiful seaside town of Aldeburgh in Suffolk. I'm sure some of you have never heard of, but it does appear in the film The Dig, which I happen to work on. Go check that out if you haven't seen it. Now, the weather did presume that it would be overcast, but look, here we are, and the sun is out. That's typical Britain. Now, I'm using the Fuji recipe right now. It obviously is a bit strong, but that's the fun and the creative element of these Fujifilm recipes. They are to be kind of experimental, to see how much you can push your camera to create a vibe. I do have with me my 18 to 55mm kit lens with my X-S20. So let's go around and make some shots. If you want to know the Fuji recipe that I have inputted in my camera, skip to the end and you can find out how I created this. But stick around and see what I made and see if it inspires you to create your own or to use mine, you know. Anyway, let's go get it. So I'm just back from my photo walk in Aldeburgh and I'm just having a look at some of the photos I have here. And I have to say, by the end of the walk, I was a little uninspired. But not by the Fujifilm recipe that I've created. I really enjoyed playing with that, and when the sun was shining, I think it really worked. But there were a limited amount of subjects, and it did become increasingly overcast as it was expected. Again, typical British weather. There wasn't too many people about either, and I love a good photo when I can capture the subject in the environment. I think this is a great example of a day that sometimes doesn't always go to plan. You are not always going to feel inspired when you go out to take photos. Photography is a skill and a practice, and one that you have to go to war with every day. It's not always a joy. Sometimes it's frustrating, and sometimes it's hard, and sometimes you can't understand why some of your settings aren't working the way they should work. It can be utterly heartbreaking at times, but when it's good, it's great, and that's why we do it. It's an art form, and like any art form and any form of expression, it's perfect when it's inspired and it comes to light, and even sometimes, you know, surprises yourself. But when I created this Fujifilm recipe, I was inspired. So the inspiration was there to begin with this video. Unfortunately, it just dwindled out because of its environment. As you can see, I tried to give a very cold winter blue to the Fujifilm recipe. That was the kind of inspiration I was going for with this Fujifilm recipe. And I think I achieved it. I did have to tweak the photos a little bit when I was in the field, not in post, just to hold back some of the color. It was a bit saturated at times. Now, if you have got this far, this is where I'm going to show you the Fujifilm recipe if you want to go have a play. I think with the right conditions and the right environment and the right location, you could make some really great photos with this recipe. Okay, so I shot all of these in JPEG. I used the film simulation classic chrome. My grain effect was off. Color chrome effect was off. Color chrome FX blue was strong. My auto white balance was red -6, blue -2. Dynamic range was 400. The D range priority was off. My tone curve, now highlights were -2 and my shadows were -2. Color was +1, sharpness -2, high ISO was -1, and my clarity was -2. So I hope you liked that video, guys, and the Fujifilm recipe. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Please like and subscribe. Let's make some waves, and I'll see you in the next one.